making the headlines. New measures announced to address violence in schools. The Barbados Fire Service stepping up efforts to respond to electric vehicle fires.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Hello, I'm Sharika Griffith with this weekend edition of NewsNight. In our top story, the Ministry of Education has outlined several new measures to address ongoing violence in schools. Minister Kay McConney says the plans involve partnering with other government entities. She says it will take a whole-of-country approach to deal with the ongoing issue.
Mr. Humphrey's ministry will also be developing, in collaboration with our ministry, what we call a healing program to support grieving students and teachers alike. We recognize that grief is a big thing in the school system. Some have seen their loved ones hurt, killed, and it's not easy then to pick up and come to school and have to deal with all the other things they have to deal with in life. And therefore, this healing program is really meant to help us support our students and teachers through that grieving process.
Well, during an address, Ms. McConney added they also intend to ramp up security in schools island-wide.
The ministry has conducted security audits of schools, and a draft national school security and safety policy has been prepared, and it is now being finalized thanks to the support of a wide-ranging coalition of partners, which included the Barbados Defense Force, Barbados Police Service, Defense and Security Division, the Fire Service, all the unions that are associated with the school system, our National Student Council, our National Parent Teachers Association, and of course the Ministry of Education.
Meanwhile, Reverend Dr. Joel Cumberbatch, a former educator, says society must return to a community spirit, working together for the good of all, as it takes a village to raise a child.
I believe we must return to that community spirit characterized by positive intervention, discussion, common bonds, and a working together for the good of all, which have served us exceptionally well in the past. May I reiterate the fact that the villages in our context must embrace not only the home and the immediate community where the child lives, but the school, the church, the parent-teachers associations, the business community, community organizations, and of course, the faith-based community as well.
In other news, new equipment has been procured by the Barbados Fire Service to meet new challenges created by electric vehicles. Fire Chief Errol Maynard made the revelation at the Chief Fire Officer Parade and Award Ceremony at the Archal Fire Station in St. Thomas. Kishmar St. reports.
The third fire involving a high-energy battery was recorded just this week. That prompted a warning to owners of electric vehicles. Fire Chief Errol Maynard says his fire officers are now better trained to manage the challenges. The fire service has also commissioned new state-of-the-art appliances.
We have commissioned 3 new state-of-the-art appliances, which further enhance our effectiveness and our response to emergencies. And you would have seen some of the equipment that we used earlier this afternoon. Our efforts will go beyond our current initiatives as we intensify our public education and engagement programs.
The Barbados Fire Service has also embraced a new method for citizens to report emergencies.
Provision has also been made for the use of WhatsApp for reporting emergencies. This new communication medium will enable individuals with hearing impairment to contact us more easily, ensuring that everyone has access to emergency service when needed. We will also be training our dispatchers to communicate via sign language. And I'm sure most of you would have heard that just recently we had a couple of hikers lost, and they used the WhatsApp to communicate with the fire service in order to let persons know or let us know that they were in trouble.
Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams, meanwhile, has praised the Barbados Fire Service, along with the Barbados Defence Force crew, for their role in providing assistance to neighbouring states following the passage of Hurricane Beryl.
This was not part of the duties that you signed up for when you signed up for the Barbados Fire Service. I don't think you even contemplated that you'd be called upon to give the service that you did. But what you in effect did was help a country and a people who were at their lowest. With the way the climate is going, with the strength of the storms, you all see those storms spinning out in the Atlantic right now. They're spinning the Atlantic, but quite equally, they could be spinning down here. We hope never to get hit. At some point in time, we will get a hit. And I hope that when we do, then people like y'all step up from the other countries to give the service to Barbados that Barbados did when asked.
Several officers and civilians were recognized at the ceremony, which formed part of a slate of activities commemorating the Barbados Fire Service's 69th anniversary. Kishmar St-Gis, CBC News.
Prime Minister Mia Motley has hailed what she calls the seminal contribution of the late Sir Keith Hunt to Barbadian and regional development. Sir Keith holds the title of longest-serving principal of the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus, having been in the role from 1983 to 2002. Prime Minister Motley says under his leadership, Cave Hill became perhaps the single most important tertiary institution for young people of the sub-region as they sought upward mobility. She notes Sir Keith was a mentor and guide to her when, as a young Member of Parliament, she was named Minister of Education and Culture. The Prime Minister recalled how he conducted the affairs of the Committee for National Reconciliation in the early 2000s as the country grappled with some deep-seated racial issues. Sir Keith was awarded the title of Knight of St. Andrew in 1987, but the Prime Minister believes the country owes him an unsatisfiable debt of gratitude for all he has done. Two young men, ages 19 and 26 years, have been charged with murder and other charges stemming from a recent shooting in St. James. The accused are St. James residents Raquan Ashra Ian Zephyrin of Fox Club Gap, The Garden, and Isaac Joshua Estafil of Crick Hill. Police say the offences were committed on September 15th whilst at First Avenue, Lower Carlton, St. James. They were charged for the murder of Shakari Ford, endangering the life of a female and wounding of a minor. The duo is also charged separately for unlawful use of a firearm. Both accused appeared in the Whole Town Magistrates Court on Friday and were remanded to Dodds Prison. They are scheduled to reappear in court on Friday, the 1st of November. And coming up, Barbados will be the venue for a Vibes Cartel show early next year.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Morning Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morningbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Adija Vibes Cartel Palmer is now scheduled to perform in Barbados early next year. The artist, released from prison in August, last visited the country to perform in 2008. Akim Klinkett has that story.
So let's stay tuned to Zulu Entertainment for more. Vibes Cartel, Barbados 2025, up and live. I thought I told you that the comet is coming, Don.
It is now confirmed. Adija Vibes Cartel Palmer will be performing in Barbados. The deal was signed last night with CEO of Zulu Entertainment Inc., Vivian Fagan, and Palmer's legal representatives. This is one of two ventures Zulu will be embarking on in early 2025, with the Vibes Cartel show expected to be held on the 20th of April. The announcement was made at the launch of their new ticketing system, Event Pass. Mr. Fagan says shows like these create significant revenue for countries, and with some fine-tuning, he believes it can do the same for Barbados. He also explains why he believes Event Pass is needed in the entertainment industry.
As the industry evolved, I couldn't ignore the need to engage more technologically advancement into what we do. But like any of you, I knew the technology couldn't simply be layered on top of our culture. It had to be enhanced. How do we introduce innovation while preserving and the uniqueness of our entertainment scene? After months of brainstorming, discussions, and consulting with my family, Event Pass was born and developed.
The ticketing system will be introduced throughout the Caribbean, including St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Jamaica. Akeem Klinkett, CBC News.
Educator Jeff Brooms has added another book to his collection of texts aimed at educating the nation's children and adults. Book number 21, titled The Fundamentals of Learning Literacy and Numeracy, is the latest in his collection. Rachel Agard reports.
With many textbooks available in Barbados, penned by non-Barbadian authors, this new book by educator Jeff Brooms is welcomed across the education spectrum because it encompasses subjects that are Caribbean-oriented. Educator Herbert Gittin says one of the drawbacks of foreign texts used in Barbados' schools is that it bears no relevance to local experiences. And he recommends to education officials that the book be used at both the primary and secondary school levels.
Even as students transition to the secondary level, many of them have not grasped the important concepts at the primary level. So the book can still be used to help them to get along and to improve as they move through at the secondary level.
Head of the National Task Force on Literacy Education, Dr. Sylvia Henry, encourages more authors and emerging writers to produce material that is reflective of a Barbadian culture.
Our learners need to learn based on material that is authentic and to which they can relate. Today we are not only celebrating a book, but a new pathway to learning.
Director of the National Library Service, Jennifer Yard, says the book is timely as Barbados has reported a decline in the literacy rate.
It is no secret that students across our nation are struggling with literacy skills. When I refer to literacy, I am also including numeracy, as one must be able to read and write and can work with numbers, not only for academic success, but also for everyday life.
The man of the moment, Mr. Broom, says he has not only contributed the book to help common entrance students, but he also offers lessons for free. He started teaching lessons in October 1993 on the insistence of his daughter, who asked him to help her friends whose parents could not afford it.
I went home the evening and I called all the parents. From the next Saturday, they were meeting me down by the bus depot by fire station, Western St. James, and all of us fill up my car and come home by me. My next door neighbor joined us, and who's a doctor today, and then I had a class of 11. And obviously my daughter's request was for me to help her friends. So from 1993 to this day, I will never charge a cent for lessons.
Over time, it is hoped this book will assist in raising the island's literacy rate. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Coming up, the weekend sports with Anne-Marie Burke.
Good evening with sports. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. The Barbados Royals missed out on a place in tomorrow's final of the Republic Bank CPL as they lost by 8 wickets to Ghana Amazon Warriors in Qualifier 2 at the Ghana National Stadium last night. Sending to bat Royals were dismissed for 148 off their 20 overs. David Miller top scored with 36. Warriors in reply made 142 for a 9 off 14.3. Shea Hope top scored with 56. He and player of the match Moin Ali, who made 44 not out, put on 95 for the second wicket partnership. Warriors will take on St. Lucia Kings in tomorrow's final. It begins at 7 p.m. and will be live on CBC TV8 and also on MCTV Sports Match Channel 310. Of note is that CBC's NewsNight will be aired at 6:30 p.m. to accommodate the live coverage of the final. In more CPL news, Barbados will be the host of the 2026 final. This was announced last night by Prime Minister Mia Amar Motley during the innings break of the second qualifier. It was also revealed that Guyana will be the host of next year's final. Jofa Archer took a 5-wicket haul as Wildy closed the opening day of Series 5 of the BCA Elite competition with a 51-run lead over Pickwick. Played at SJPIT, Archer took 5 for 7 as Pickwick were skittled out for 61 in their first innings. Skipper Jerome Jones backed up with 3 for 3 runs. Wildy then closed on 112 for 1. At Cane Garden, Gladiola trailed by 175 runs against BCA Youth. Scores Youth 217, Matthew Jones took 5 for 69, Gladiola 42 without loss. At Bank Hall, Spartan closed on 254 for 8 against Empire. And at Friendship, Yorkshire trailed UW by 175 runs, UW by 254, Kyle Corbin made 62, Steve Pinder took 5 for 55, Yorkshire 79 for 1. Still with cricket, Australia began the defence of their ICC Women's T20 World Cup title with a comfortable 6-wicket win over Sri Lanka in Sharjah today. In the day's other game, England opened their campaign with a 21-run victory over Bangladesh. West Indies women will play their second match tomorrow against Scotland women, and it will be live on MCTV's ESPN Channel 308 from 10 a.m. Well, St. Leonard's and Parkinson Memorial will clash in tonight's final of the Bragging Rights All Scholars Football Tournament after their semi-final clashes at the Lumber Company ground. CBC's Damien Best reports.
Semi-final number 1 of the Bragging Rights competition, Garrison Secondary on the go here against Parkinson Memorial. Chance. Well, that's a lesson in itself. Placement over power any day. Parkinson with a corner kick now, 18th minute. Jason Seeley at the back post, right off the forehead and into the onion bag. Parkinson lead 1-0. 18 minutes later, the ball was gifted to Parkinson in an advanced position. And sure enough, Garrison will be punished. Wayne Holder eventually finishing the build-up 2-0. The mission was complete in the 49th minute. Andre Daniel from the penalty spot beats Jason Boxall, who never moved. 3-0 victory to Parkinson Memorial over Garrison Secondary. Semi-final number 2, St. James Secondary in bright orange versus St. Leonard's. And would you look at that, Henderson Richards glancing header, 1-0. That was a rude awakening for St. Leonard's, and they almost leveled the contest. The crossbar was the only savior. But there will be no saving grace for the next effort. 25th minute from the most exquisite angle. A pinpoint cross into the 6-yard box, and the speedy Kemar Griffith makes it 1-1. Oh, how sweet it is. That's worth another look. Rolling back the years. A 1-2 punch that left the spectators begging for more. More magic. 41st minute, Kemar Aline. But I could only assume the goalkeeper thought about diving and opted out. Nonetheless, that's a laser from long range, 2-1. The second half had more entertainment, switch of ends. Dwayne Mars, forceful, out of the clutches of the goalkeeper, and he hammers this one home to make it 3-1. St. James at this point deflated and wanted nothing to do with the word defense. 46th minute, Mars with his brace from point blank. Final nail in the coffin. St. Leonard's 4, St. James Secondary 1.
And thanks, Damien. Now that's it for sports. The weather is next with Kerry-Ann O'Neill.
Good evening and welcome to the weather news. Well, strong daytime heating maintained localized showers across some sections of the island. We're also tracking Hurricane Leslie in the Atlantic, and the winds across the region, they are calm to light. The maximum temperature today was 32 degrees Celsius, the minimum 25 degrees. At present, the temperature stands at 29 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity, 80% of the winds, they're coming in from the southwest. We take a look now at our satellite feed, where we do have Hurricane Kirk moving away towards the north, maximum sustained winds 120 miles per hour. Meanwhile, we do have
also Hurricane Leslie. The system at 5 p.m. was located at 11 degrees north, 36 degrees west. It is moving towards the west-northwest, maximum sustained winds 80 miles per hour. Now, there are no watches or warnings in effect. For us here in Barbados today, light winds along with strong daytime heating maintained some localized showers, especially over some northern areas. We are talking about St. Lucie, St. Peter, and also St. Andrew. We had up to 25 millimeters of rainfall. Meanwhile, the winds, they're peaking at 10 knots. The seas across the region, smooth to moderate in open water, with swells peaking at 2 meters. Now, later on tonight, we are expecting a mix of clear and cloudy skies, along with just a few showers. Further south, light winds also and strong daytime heating maintained localized showers and isolated thunderstorms across the Guianas. That's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Morning Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morningbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Welcome back. In the forecast for tomorrow, the sun is expected to rise at 5:48 and will set at 5:45. Now, the first high tide is expected at 5:40 in the early morning, the first low at 11 in the morning. The seas, smooth to moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2 meters. The winds, they're coming in from the southeast to the east-southeast, and they're peaking at 20 kilometers per hour. For us here in Barbados tonight, we can expect a mix of clear and cloudy skies along with a few showers. And over the next 3 days, light winds along with strong daytime heating will maintain some localized showers here in Barbados.
St. Philip, loud and proud. We are your 2024 Parish Ambassadors.
Did you know about Barbados' Child Protection Bill?
The Child Protection Bill establishes procedures for a situation where a child leaves or is taken from a foster home or child care center.
To ensure a safe return of the child, authorities can request a court order. This prompts an investigation into why they left and their placement in a secure location during the process.
Once the investigation is complete, the child's future placement will be decided on.
The Child Protection Bill is essential for providing all children with a safe environment and a promising future filled with hope and opportunities.
Let's all protect the children of Barbados, the gems of our nation.
That's our news, but this reminder before we go. The CBC NewsNight will be broadcast at 6:30 tomorrow evening, and that's to accommodate live coverage of the CPL finals. And thank you for joining us tonight, and do continue to enjoy your evening.